What's up, boys and girls? C. Lopez back once again with another tutorialism. Today I'm going to be looking at working on a drum track. So first of all, I want to apologise if the recording my voice has sounded a little bit funny. It's because summer has well and truly kicked in here in Hong Kong. So I'm doing this with the aircon on, and the way I'm set up here, I'm sat right underneath it. I'm going to use Restoration Suite by Aircon Digital to try and get rid of the AC noise, but it might leave my voice sound a little bit funny, but what can I do? There's no way I can do this without the air conditioning on today. So as you can see, I'm working in arrangement view, which is quite rare for tutorialism. The reason for that being is these drums are actually taken from a track that I've been working on. And while I was working on them, came across a few little processes that I thought you guys might be interested in seeing. Right, so this is the kind of the drum loop that I was working on in the track. Okay, so just got a kick, and the kick's coming out a big kick, like a finger snap, 2 lots of claps. So actually, I'm going to show you this clap. As you can see, we've got the delay coming through H delay, and I've actually got 2 instances of that sat on top of each one another. One has the lo-fi on, the other one doesn't, and I'm just using the rack here to mix between the lo-fi and the clean delay. Got a second clap here, open hi-hat, tambourine. I've got this auto filter on, so without, with. A top loop. That's a loop that I got from a Loop Masters pack. I've got an instance of Spark from Arturia, which you can't hear right now, but I've got like a drum fill coming through. I've got this Crash, which is a mixture of crash and a bit of white noise. I've got these oohs, which I got from recording the delay from the vocal that I was using in the track, and I've just got a bit of white noise and a riser here. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just select all of the drums by holding down Shift and selecting them, and then right click and going to group the tracks, and I'm going to call this group drums, and what I'm going to do is compress the drums, just to kind of glue them all together, and I'm going to use Presswork by Yuhi. I've showed you this before. I did quite a long video on it. If you want to watch the whole video on the Presswork, click here or click here, wherever I put the link. And Presswork's actually been updated to version 1.1, which I didn't show in my video. And what 1.1 does is give us all of these new views, and they're all pretty cool, but the one I'm going to use for this one obviously is Drum Compressor. As you can see, you've got this nice new view, and I'm just going to play about with it and hopefully get something sounding good. So you can hear this sidechain control here is letting the kick drum through a bit more. So I'll turn it down. Actually do a bit of parallel processing on this as well. Let some of the original drums come through. So let's hear it bypassed. And then with. So again, bypass it. So you can hear that's just kind of gelled everything together nicely. Computer's pretty hot today, like you can see my processor going right up there. Next thing I'm going to do is add a bit of EQ. Can't remember what EQ I actually used. So let's try this SPL Ranger. This is from Plugin Alliance. There was actually a pretty sweet deal on this a few weeks back. I got this ridiculously cheap. So let's have a listen to what this sounds like on the drum bus. You hear how boxy 500 Hz is. That's not nice, so I'm going to take that down a little bit. So let's turn it on, hear the difference it makes. Yeah, that's a real nice EQ. To remember to use that one more often in the future. Alright, so that's my drum bus processing, and next thing I'm going to do is to show you little ways that you can kind of just do real simple little tricks just to make your drum track sound more interesting. And I mean, we do this by kind of adding fills, but with electronic music there's so many like kind of easy cheap fills, and the first one I'm going to show you is this one. Just by removing the kick drum, you hear what a difference it makes, just to add a little bit of interest. You see, all I've done there is just take out the kick drum and added a little double kick just before the next bar kicks in. Real simple but real effective, and to kind of add to that tension, just a bit of white noise on the bottom here, just a sample of white noise. So let's hear that again. Okay, so the next thing we can do to add a bit of interest to our drum track is add an actual fill. And what I've got here is Spark by Arturia, and just got these toms, and you hear what a difference that makes here at the end of this bar. here. I followed the tom fill by that crash cymbal there, so it sounds, well, it doesn't really sound like, but it's imitating a real drum kit, the way a real drummer would do a fill. They would tend to put a crash cymbal after a little tom fill. Okay, so you can see we've got two variations there, which is going to add a little bit of interest to the track. And let's see what I did for the third variation. Again, just something real simple. What I've done is I've added an auto filter to the kick. So if we look at the arrangement, what I've done is I've cut everything out. About halfway through this little, what is this, 8 bars. See, again, just another really simple trick, but it's really effective when it comes to adding interest to the track, which is what this is all about. Okay, what else have I got on here? Nothing. So I'm going to show you one last thing that I'll do live for you. Right, so let's listen to what we've got so far. Sorry, I was totally zoning out there. Forgot what I was going to show you, but I've remembered halfway through. Alright, so what I'm going to do is process these drums in a kind of DJ style. And what I was going to do originally when I was in the track was just get the auto filter again and do this kind of thing. So over the track here, I was going to do this, but you hear the problem with this is on my returns I've got claps and maybe a few other things going to my drum plate reverb, and when I put the auto filter over the drum group, the actual channels still send to the return track here and aren't being filtered out, which makes it all sound a little bit weird. So I wanted a way to be able to filter out all of the drums, including the reverb. So this is what I did. Created a new audio track, and I'm going to call this one pre-master, and let's set it to, oh, don't want to do that. Let's set it to right, how am I going to do this with the microphone on? Right, so with a clever little bit of editing, I've worked out how to not get my voice come through this audio track that I've just set up. We can get back into what I was doing. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is send all of my drums and the return tracks to this new audio track that I've made, this pre-master track. So we do that by clicking on the in-out options, and I'm going to get the output of the drum group and send that to pre-master, and I'm going to do the same with the return tracks. And now on the pre-master track, I'm going to get, let's just turn this off. I'm going to get the auto filter and put it on this pre-master track. And I'm going to click the on-off switch just so I get the automation line for this. And I'm going to turn it on here. And then I'm going to click on the frequency of the auto filter so I get that automation line, and just draw in a little bit of automation here. So now what should happen is I should get everything filtered out. Well, all the drums will be filtered out and the reverb that's on the drums, but this riser thing won't be affected by that. So let's have a listen. Okay, so that's a few little techniques that I use on my drums. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting. This is C. Lopez Tutorialism. Peace.